Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some of the weirdest laws from around the world that you could actually get arrested for. Trust me, you won't believe some of these. From chewing gum to flushing toilets, these laws cover it all. Get ready to have your mind blown because we're about to embark on a wild ride through the wacky world of weird laws. Alright, first up, we're heading over to Singapore, a country known for its cleanliness and order. But did you know that chewing gum is basically illegal there? Unless you've got a doctor's note for therapeutic reasons, popping that bubblegum could cost you a hefty fine. Imagine getting busted for chewing gum. So, next time you're in Singapore, keep that gum in your pocket, or better yet, stick to breath mints. You've been warned. Next stop, Greece. Land of ancient history, beautiful beaches, and apparently, a strict no high heels policy at certain historical sites. That's right, ladies, if you're planning on rocking those stilettos while exploring the Acropolis, think again. The Greek government is serious about protecting their ancient monuments from any potential damage those killer heels might inflict. So, if you're planning a trip to Greece, pack your flats and sandals. Your feet will thank you, and you won't risk getting into trouble with the fashion police of ancient history. Alright, let's hop over to Italy, shall we? Venice, the city of canals, gondolas, and apparently some very hangry pigeons. Now, I love feeding birds as much as the next guy, but in Venice it could cost you. That's right, feeding the pigeons in Venice is a big no-no. So if you find yourself in Venice and a flock of pigeons starts eyeing your gelato with hunger in their beady little eyes, resist the urge to share. Keep your snacks to yourself and enjoy the beauty of Venice. Next, we're speeding off to Germany, home of the Autobahn, where you can put the pedal to the metal and really let your car roar. But hold on a second, speed demons. There's one crucial rule you need to know. Don't run out of gas. Running out of fuel on the Autobahn is not just inconvenient, it's illegal. So before you hit the Autobahn, make sure you've got a full tank of gas, a good playlist, and a radar detector. Hold on to your berets because we're about to dive into the world of French law, and things are about to get interesting. France, a country known for its rich history, exquisite cuisine, and iconic landmarks, also has some rather peculiar laws that might surprise you. Now I know what you're thinking. France, the land of romance, fine dining, and apparently, some very strict rules about naming your pet pig. Yes, you heard that right. Among the many regulations that govern life in France, there's one that stands out for its sheer oddity. That's right, folks, in France you can't just name your beloved swine anything you want. While it might seem trivial, the French take this matter quite seriously. The name you choose for your pig can actually land you in hot water if you're not careful. Oh no, there are rules, and one rule stands above the rest. Thou shalt not name thy pig Napoleon. This law dates back to the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, the famous French military leader and emperor. It was established to protect the dignity and legacy of Napoleon, ensuring that his name would not be used in a disrespectful manner. So if you ever find yourself raising pigs in the French countryside, choose your pig names wisely. The French countryside is dotted with picturesque farms and charming villages, where traditions run deep and respect for history is paramount. Stick with classic barnyard names like Wilbur or Babe, and leave Napoleon out of it. After all, you wouldn't want to offend the locals or find yourself on the wrong side of the law. So, next time you're in France, remember to respect their unique customs and enjoy the beauty and culture this incredible country has to offer. Get ready to be whisked away to Switzerland, the land of chocolate watches and apparently, some very strict bathroom etiquette. Now I've heard of noise complaints before, but this one takes the cake. In Switzerland, it's illegal to flush your toilet after 10 p.m. in an apartment building. Apparently, the Swiss take their sleep very seriously, and the sound of a flushing toilet after hours is considered a major disturbance. So, if you ever find yourself in Switzerland, be sure to plan your bathroom breaks accordingly, and whatever you do, don't even think about flushing after 10 p.m. Next stop, England, where we're about to delve into the hallowed halls of British Parliament, a place steeped in tradition, history, and apparently, a very strict dress code. The British Parliament is not just a building, it's an institution that has shaped the course of history for centuries. From the Magna Carta to modern-day debates, these walls have witnessed it all. Now I'm all for dressing to impress, but this law takes the cake. Imagine getting all dressed up for a big day at Parliament, only to be told that your outfit is not just inappropriate, but actually illegal. In the UK, it's illegal to wear a suit of armor in Parliament. This law dates back to the medieval times when knights in armor were a common sight. The rule was put in place to prevent armed confrontations within the sacred halls of governance. Yes, you heard that right. Even though it sounds like something out of a fairy tale, it's a real law. The idea was to ensure that debates and discussions could take place without the threat of violence. You can't just waltz into the House of Commons dressed like a knight in shining armor, no matter how tempting it may seem. While it might make for a dramatic entrance, it would certainly get you escorted out, no matter how tempting it may seem. The image of a modern-day knight clanking down the aisles of Parliament is amusing, but it's a no-go. So, if you ever get invited to a fancy event at Parliament, remember this quirky piece of history. It's a fun fact to share at parties, but not something to test in real life. Leave your suit of armor at home. It's best kept as a conversation piece or a unique decoration rather than a fashion statement for political events. Stick to a nice suit or dress, something that says, "You're here to engage in serious discussion, not to reenact a medieval battle," and leave the jousting to the professionals. After all, there's a time and place for everything, and Parliament is definitely not the place for a knight in shining armor. G'day mates, we're heading down under to Australia, a land of kangaroos, koalas, and apparently some very strict kite flying regulations. Now I love flying a kite as much as the next person, but in Victoria, Australia, you better be careful who you're flying it around. That's right folks, in Victoria, it's illegal to fly a kite in a public space if it annoys someone else. So, if you're planning a kite flying adventure in Victoria, make sure you brush up on the local laws and regulations, and whatever you do, don't annoy the kangaroos. Hold on tight, because we're about to enter the mystical realm of reincarnation, and things are about to get really interesting. Imagine a world where the cycle of life and death is not just a spiritual journey, but also a bureaucratic process. Yes, you heard that right. In China, the concept of reincarnation is intertwined with government regulations. Now I've heard of all sorts of strange laws, but this one takes the cake. Picture the astonishment on people's faces when they first hear about this unique regulation. In China, Buddhist monks need government permission to reincarnate. This isn't just a casual guideline, it's a formal requirement that has to be followed to the letter. You heard that right, folks. The process is as official as it gets, and it involves multiple layers of approval. Apparently, the Chinese government takes reincarnation very seriously, and they want to make sure that only the most qualified monks are coming back for another round of enlightenment. This means that the monks have to go through a rigorous vetting process. Talk about bureaucratic red tape. The amount of paperwork involved is staggering, and it can be quite a daunting task to get everything in order. Can you imagine the paperwork involved? It's not just a simple form, it's a comprehensive application that requires detailed information and multiple endorsements. Please submit your reincarnation application in triplicate, along with a letter of recommendation from your previous life. Yes, you need a reference from your past existence to move forward. So, if you're a Buddhist monk in China with plans for a future life, make sure you get your paperwork in order. This isn't something you can leave to the last minute. It requires careful planning and preparation. And whatever you do, don't try to sneak back into existence without permission. The consequences of bypassing the official process can be severe, and it's not worth the risk. So, remember, in the mystical land of China, even the journey of the soul is subject to the rules and regulations of the earthly realm. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the wacky world of Alabama law and things are about to get hairy. Now I love a good laugh as much as the next person, but in Alabama, you better be careful where you're sporting that fake mustache. That's right, folks, in Alabama, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter. So if you ever find yourself in an Alabama church, leave the fake mustache at home. Stick to your Sunday best, sing those hymns with gusto, and save the mustache-related shenanigans for another time. And there you have it, folks. Some of the weirdest laws from around the world. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this wild ride through the world of strange and unusual laws.